New York City Mayor's race. Eric Adams brushes off report that his campaign filed fraudulent signatures to get ballot line. Mayor Eric Adams brushed off on Friday a report that his mayoral re-election campaign submitted dozens of forged or fraudulent signatures to secure his place as an independent candidate on the November general election ballot. Following an unrelated August 1st event in Brooklyn, Hisner insisted to reporters that it is completely normal for campaigns to submit some fraudulent signatures gathered by volunteers or hired canvassers on the street. He made the statements in response to a Gothamist report that found at least 52 of the nearly 50,000 signatures his campaign submitted to get on the ballot were forged or fraudulent. Adams said that everyone who knows about petitioning is well aware that when gathering signatures, a candidate's opponents will try to play tricks such as getting people to write a deal person's name on their ballots. He said that is why his campaign gathered and filed close to 50,000 signatures rather than the minimum required 7,500. When you're out in the street with volunteers, they sign the signatures. We know that those things happen because of the number of volunteers you have, Adams said. We have more than enough to get on the ballot. That is why anyone that's in this game, in this business, will tell you when you're doing what's called street petitioning. People sign. You have your opponents that come and do things to try to mess up your signatures. This is part of the business. The mayor added that his campaign has enlisted an independent person to review the signatures it gathered in response to the report. Veteran election lawyer Sarah Steiner, however, cast doubt on Adams' explanation in a text message to AM New York. If you collect signatures on the street, they may or may not be valid, but they are real, she said. Steiner added that the number of fraudulent signatures the Gothamist report found was unusual in a sample that size. However, an official with the City Board of Elections, BOE, said that Gothamist's findings likely will not impact Adams' ballot placement because it is an allegation made beyond the period when his spot could be challenged. The official added that it is not the BOE's responsibility to assess the authenticity of signatures, but rather just to certify that the campaign turned in the correct number. Nevertheless, the BOE official told AM New York Adams could face legal consequences if one of the city's district attorneys suspects criminality and decides to pursue an investigation. Gothamist's report found that the signatures gathered by employees of private companies hired by the campaign were forged outright in some cases. In other instances, the news site reported voters felt they were deceived into signing the forms, and in at least 3 cases, the campaigns filed dead people's signatures. They also reported that Adams' campaign declined to hire outside auditors to vet many of the signatures private companies collected for them, even after one of the firm's executives recommended they do so. That's all I have to say for this video.